We're at part 3. Okay, welcome back to the Notes to Young People podcast. We're at the finale of the When to Leave a Relationship segment. Now, if you missed part 1 or you missed part 2, I'm going to leave a link in the description box and somewhere up here so you can go watch those. But if you're all caught up, get your notepads out because you're going to wish you knew this sooner.
I don't know, guys. Honestly, I do think that, I don't think relationships are as black and white. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, they're very complicated.
Yeah.
It's not as black and white, but sometimes you need to be able to hear the different, what would you call it?
Perspectives.
Yes. You can decide, hey, I don't care about that, I want to deal with. So as long as you know that they're different red flags, actually, that's what they all are. Different red flags. So sometimes some people think it's normal. You're going through a relationship and the guy's calling you,
People think cheating is normal.
the guy saying to you, you can't get nobody, but you think that's normal. You think, you take it on, but that's not normal. That's abusive. Anyway.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Dealbreakers.
Wendy's gonna go.
I'm gonna go.
Yes.
So I would say one of my biggest deal breakers is someone who never discusses what's wrong.
That's a
Bad communication.
Yes, that's
a good deal breaker.
I had that on my list.
Like, please don't leave me hanging.
Lack of communication.
Okay, so why and
I
more
just
detail?
think something's always gonna go wrong. A relationship is perfect, but you should always express how you're feeling because they're not mind readers.
Call me now.
And you don't want it to turn into something to the point where it just becomes, it explodes. And then it's already over before it began.
I have something to say about that.
Okay.
You have a very good point. That works sometimes, but sometimes it does not, because sometimes people, when you're communicating and telling somebody what's bothering you, sometimes some people can't. Okay, I'm gonna say this. When I was going through something, I used to think, you know what I need to do? I need to tell the person how I feel. And they're going to understand how I feel. And that's gonna make things better. Right? No. People are coming from different, you ever hear people, it's happening right now in politics. They're fighting. They're fighting about something. You will explain to that person certain things, but they can't understand what you're saying because they're coming from a mind frame of their life experience and their traumas and all that kind of stuff. So you can tell them till you're blue in the face, this is the problem, this is what's bothering me. They're not going to understand.
But that's not your tribe then. After a certain amount of times of saying things over and over and something that's really, really bothering
but you're
you.
going to find that.
Yeah, that's true. And also,
you're going to find it because it happened to me. I mean, I used to think that was the way, communication. If you tell this person, when you do something, it hurts me, and they'll understand, but sometimes they don't have empathy. They don't understand what the hell you're talking about.
that's a deal breaker.
They cannot empathize with you, and so you could talk to them till you're blue in the face about what's bothering you. They're not going to get it. Be prepared for that in life. They're not going to understand because they can't empathize with you. They can't feel what you're feeling. They're just worried about how they're feeling, and that's the driving force for them. How they're feeling. They're not understanding you. It's a problem. That's why sometimes people go to counseling. When people are having problems in marriage and they say, okay, we can't communicate, let's go to a counselor. They feel like the counselor is going to help them. And it doesn't work because what happens, it doesn't work for some people. Because sometimes people will go to the counselor and portray like a different person. I don't know. Maybe that's not even a good example. That's a different topic. But what I'm saying is, sometimes you feel as if communication is the key, and you don't be surprised. Maybe it could work, and it should work. But don't be surprised if it doesn't, because people are coming from their own life. If they don't have empathy, because first of all, a lack of empathy, meaning that you can tell me, oh mom, you know, this hurts me, and I'm like, oh really? Oh, poor baby. Some people don't feel that.
Some people feel
Some
like,
people like,
I've had worse. You should
yes,
suck it up.
they don't feel that. And so sometimes you feel you communicated with a person and you tell them how you're feeling and you feel, well, they will empathize with your feeling. They don't have that in them. Half of this country is like that right now. They don't have it. So communication is good.
Okay.
But don't be surprised if you communicate with a person and they have no understanding of what the hell you're talking about. They can't relate to you because they don't have empathy. They don't have that skill.
So the deal breakers are people with no empathy, no emotional intelligence,
Mm-hmm.
people with bad communication, because you should still communicate.
Yes.
People with bad communication skills.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing on top of what you said, sometimes people, when you criticize all the time, and you're just trying to like let them know how you feel, sometimes you have to find a way to tell them how you feel without being overly critical, because then
Don't ask me your mind for nothing.
they can
Shut down.
shut down and feel like you're attacking them as a person.
Well, you have to learn how to communicate with people.
Yeah.
Yourself.
But, you know, communicate, but don't like try to like attack or overly criticize somebody.
Mm-hmm. The learning how to communicate with people, that's a skill. That's not anything easy to do, because you know you have to know that you shouldn't really be critical of people. Like I hear some people would say, oh, when they were growing up, their parents would say, oh, you're stupid, your family is, your family is stupid. And you should never say that to kids, right? We know that, right? But some people don't know that. So it's like it's a skill that you kind of like have to acquire or learn. I don't know how you get it.
Well, I would say to add to that you also should ask someone something that Mia said earlier, how do you fight, like how do you handle, how do you process things? Some people may want to speak about an issue right away. Some people need to process, and I don't think either one of those are wrong, but knowing what that person needs is going to determine how they're going to, if they're even going to be able to receive it. If they're like, man, you should have brought this up 2 days ago when we had this fight, then there's someone who needs to talk about it right away, versus someone who's like, just give me a couple hours. Let me calm down, let me think. Because sometimes people even think and reflect, and they're like, you know what? You ain't even got to tell them. They're like, I was tripping. I apologize.
I grieve different.
This is, this bothered me. I should have come to you, blah, blah, blah. So I would say that's how you learn this skill. You have to ask. That's why you got to ask the questions.
Ask questions.
You got to ask questions. That's the most important thing. Y'all just can't be vibing in the beginning. Y'all got to ask questions.
Yeah.
And with the therapy thing,
Mm-hmm.
your therapist shouldn't be taking sides. So if you have a therapist that's taking sides, you need to get a new one.
But there's some people who are who are good at communicating, and they can convince anybody.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, even if the therapist thinks that one person is right in something, they shouldn't be taking somebody's side. Well,
I think they can have
I know the backstory why I'm speaking on it, and I'm not.
I think
But
they
you
can have nonverbal cues though that kind of shows you that, or like maybe not even nonverbal. Maybe to mommy's point, maybe one person says something, and the therapist is like, "Aw, like that's sweet."
Mm-hmm.
That's like affirming that, and even if they're not taking sides, I think a reaction like that. Like, let's say Joni does something for me and the therapist is like, oh, that's sweet, and I didn't feel it was sweet. Then you feel like, oh, am I being ungrateful or whatever because someone else thinks it's sweet. So that's kind of like it can be perceived as taking sides. That's a less blatant example, but it could be perceived as taking sides because it's like, oh, they're like, damn, well, that pissed me off. What's wrong with me? Or whatever. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know he loves you. I drink too much
Dismissing
wine.
your emotions.
Yes, it's dismissing your. Thank you, Glenn. It's dismissing your point of view. It's dismissing your emotion. It was dismissing your. I said that already. Emotion. Anyway, but back
I
on.
agree with
Yeah,
you.
it doesn't matter what's true and what isn't. It's about how you. No, it does matter what's true, but how you feel, you also have to adjust to how that person feels. Because
You don't-
what you're saying could make them feel a certain way, even though, well, technically you're right.
Oh, you say
They
how
feel
you say
that
it,
way.
but you say it in a
You
way
have to-
that they would understand, or
In a
they
way,
would.
yeah, like, you have to acknowledge their emotions as well. Basically, what I'm saying.
So no bad communicators, nobody who's not emotionally intelligent.
Yeah.
Or no empathy. That's the disaster.
The
if you
empathy
feel
part.
if you feel like your partner does not feel bad for other people,
Yes,
or
you
if they
gotta go.
can't put themselves in somebody's
They gotta
shoes
go.
consistently,
Yeah.
or if you feel like your partner can't look at themselves in the mirror and be like, you know what, I fucked up.
Yeah.
Then-
Self-reflection.
Yes.
They have to have.
Deal breakers.
I think empathy, that word is, I think, because that's how they're going to be able to listen to you. If they don't have any empathy for how other people are feeling, whenever you may have it good right now, everything's perfect or whatever, but when it comes to the point where you're having issues, you're not going to be able to communicate to them how you feel because they do not have that empathy. They cannot understand how you're feeling because they're just worried about how they feel. They're just thinking about their feeling, and that's the core. But how you feel does not matter because they cannot empathize.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to challenge you guys, any relationship you have next, see if they have empathy. Can they empathize with other people? Can they, could they look at a movie and see somebody get killed and cry? If they can't cry, well.
Can they say, I don't understand? Can they say, okay, I see why you would be mad. If something like that happened to me, I can understand.
Yeah.
Because some people, I was talking to somebody one time, and they had gone to a party with one of their friends' parties or something like that. And the guy was talking, the guy whose house it was, who's throwing the party, was talking to the first guy. I'm trying not to use names. And so guy who's throwing the party is talking about how upset he is that his other friend did not come. And guy number one was like, oh, in his head he was like, oh, well, if I threw a party and somebody didn't show up, I wouldn't care. But the fact that guy number two was expressing how that happened, that was one of the, the light bulb moments where he was just like, oh, just because I wouldn't feel this kind of way doesn't mean other people wouldn't be offended by
So
it.
there goes the empathy.
And I was like, you didn't think.
Yeah, you should say, hey,
people
I can understand why you would feel that way.
Well, they
Maybe.
understood when the guy was saying, it was like they had come to the conclusion themselves, where when I was hearing them tell me the story about how they had just come to the conclusion, I was like, yeah, other people feel other things.
But you know what, that's just one test though. Maybe he really wouldn't have.
No, it's okay if it's okay that guy number one wouldn't have felt some kind of way. But it's about the understanding that just because you wouldn't feel some kind of way doesn't mean that guy number two doesn't feel some kind of way and doesn't have the right to feel some kind of way.
Yeah. You should be able to understand it.
You should be able to understand.
And say, I understand, but if I was you, I would just let it go or something like that. I wouldn't let it upset me.
Yeah.
Something like that. Anyway,
Joni, what's your boundary?
Yeah, what's your boundary, Johnny?
You gotta be kidding me.
She said too much wine.
She did. Like having babies for some people is not a deal breaker.
Can I just share with you something I learned? She shared the tea with me. She was like, that girl there, because I had met her a few times, and she said she had a baby with a married man, and he is still with his wife, and she does not even know that he's been cheating, let alone her having a baby.
Wow.
The wife doesn't know?
The wife doesn't know. It's a secret, allegedly.
Oh my god.
So is he taking care of the baby financially?
I don't know.
But I heard this story where this girl, she was two doctors, they're married, like young black couple, and she said one day her husband said he was at work, which, you know, obviously you're like, okay, babe, have a good day. And she had to fill in for somebody, like at the doctor's office. They've been trying to have a baby, whatever. So husband's at work. She goes to fill in for someone for like a delivery, and it's the husband and his mistress. So
This
she
is
was
a real
like,
story?
I mean, it was like a listener letter for my podcast, and it was like, you know, so she didn't say nothing. She delivered the baby. She said the baby looked just like him, and then she found out she was 5 weeks pregnant.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday.
Did she have a baby?
Abortion.
That's £200 off.
Well, she was 5 weeks or so early, and so she was like,
What do I do?
yeah, I wouldn't ask strangers that, but
Yeah, that's very
That's
personal.
insane.
Because it's something you have to live with yourself.
Well, that's why relationships are
can you imagine that though? Like
complicated.
you're like do, everything's good, y'all happy. You're like, oh, we're about to have a baby. You find out you got a baby by somebody else.
That's insane.
Okay.
It makes me
That may make you
nauseous.
snap.
Yeah.
That's why people kill people. That's
Yeah.
where you hear those stories. Somebody got stabbed 17 times.
Yeah.
That's the crime of passion. Goddamn.
God.
What should my boundary be?
Your boundary should be when you have a conversation with someone and they still keep doing what you're not asking them to do.
Okay.
Right?
Like within reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like
Something that's really bothering
Something
you though.
that makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah,
really
uncomfortable. You've expressed
And
it. They
it's
keep
reasonable.
doing it, and you just realize it's not, because there are certain things where things are not going to change. And I think it was like, it's like along the same line of communication. You could just say that.
yeah. Yes. Like Blenny's saying, like communicating what you want. Mommy's saying, you know, you can communicate what bothers you as much as you want, but if they're not empathetic. So basically, I would say also, like, communication, I'm kind of guilty of, like, not doing the silent treatment, but, like, I need time to process when I, like, there's a conflict, I guess. So, yeah, I need time to process. So, just being able to, like, process and then, like, going to say, like, this is how this is affecting me and why I don't, like, why it's uncomfortable, makes me uncomfortable. And then if, like, they're continuing to cross these boundaries that I'm setting, then it's not, you know, right. It's not gonna work. Because, yes, sure, anyone could say, like, well, these boundaries that you're setting are not realistic, or like they maybe don't agree with them, like, well, I don't feel that way, yada yada yada, whatever. But if I'm feeling that way and I want to set those boundaries, then it's not working.
Yeah.
Right.
Your boundary is boundaries,
Yes.
actually.
Yes.
And it's not for everything, but you have your important things, and if you can't see eye to eye,
It's like, well, of course you're not going to see eye to eye about everything, but if it's,
you gotta put your foot down somewhere.
yeah.
You put your foot down?
I did.
Yeah.
And you can have a deal breaker that's not everybody's deal breaker.
That's true, too.
You have the right to say, hey, you can do what you want to do in this life, and I can choose to either continue with you or not. So you keep being happy, but you doing this is affecting me, and so I have to go.
Yeah.
I just feel like if you're in a relationship and you feel like you can't be yourself, you're walking on eggshells,
you have anxiety, your skin's breaking out, your weight is up and down, your hair's falling out,
Yeah,
you look in the mirror and physically or personality wise, you don't recognize yourself anymore. You don't feel like yourself anymore. Then it's time to go. If you feel like you miss your old self, I miss who I was, it's time to go. Or sometimes it's time to start focusing on yourself and realize that you're not doing the things that you used to do because you're centering the relationship, and then you need to, get back to doing your hobbies and doing what makes you you, and maybe that's that. But if it's not that and you feel like you miss who you used to be and you don't recognize yourself anymore and you're not the person you want to be, then you gotta go. Or if you feel like you're sitting there and you're wasting your time, like if you feel like you're wasting the time with this person, like I'm wasting my life here, you gotta go. Like there was one person that I was with one time, and I'm a goofy person, and I would be like goofy and making jokes and stuff, and they would like not laugh, and they would like always like be negative. They were just negative.
Not a negative Nathan.
He was a negative Nathan. He was just a drag. And I was like, oh, I'm wasting all my goofy on this guy. I'm somebody's Gina.
Yep.
Okay, where's my Martin?
Yep.
I'm somebody's Gina. And I'm wasting all my goofy on this guy. This guy is miserable.
Yep.
Time to go.
Yep.
So, we're gonna say to everyone, the time to go is up to you. We cannot tell you when it's time. As we said, we're not professionals. And
Sorry.
Don't mind us.
we're not
The
professionals.
glass is
Stickiness,
sticking.
the glass is
As we said, we're not professionals, and if you're in an abusive relationship, please seek professional advice.
Professional meaning therapist,
Licensed people.
Licensed,
social worker,
yes, all of that stuff.
domestic
before-
violence counselor, agency.
Shelter.
Yeah, have your plan. Don't leave because we say you should.
Those 5
We are
people
just
on the
sharing
podcast.
We're just sharing our experiences and our
Listen to your
opinions.
intuition.
Mm.
Listen to the universe. Listen to God.
Yes.
If God is behind you, telling you in your ear, or the universe, whatever you believe in, is in your ear,
Or nobody.
telling you got to go. It's
Yeah.
time. Your time is done. It's done.
Yeah.
Can I also just add to, don't ever feel like there's nobody else. I feel like a lot of people don't want to leave because they feel like, oh, I'm not going to find anyone else.
Oh yeah. We covered that too.
That will keep you in a chokehold that
Yeah. I think we covered this in another. But I'm gonna
Episode?
say
Yeah, you can read
I think it's apropos.
Yeah. So yeah, there's.
I would also think, what do you like about this person? If you're on the fence with this person, what do you like about them that would make you want to stay?
Do you admire them? Do they admire you?
Right. Outside of your fear, like, why do you want to be with this person? Because if it's just fear of you're not going to find anyone else,
Or pure love? Love is not enough.
it's not enough. So.
You gotta have respect. You gotta have admiration.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta have growth.
Yeah.
And you have to be treated like
The queen or the king that you are.
Exactly, and you are a king and a queen.
Period.
So.
But you also have to, if they're treating you like a queen or a king, you treat them well as well.
Period.
You don't just let them treat you well
Correct.
and you put your foot on their neck.
No. Yeah, we said that you have to be a good person. You can't be a jerk and expect.
The world.
Yes. So
Karma is up.
because you have to self-reflect and do what you gotta be good to that person. There are people out there messing around, doing all kinds of stuff, and then expect to find have a fantastic relationship. No, it don't work that way. So You get what you give. So, good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe,
Yes.
smash that bell button.
So you can get notifications for our newest content. I had a
Yeah.
couple of glasses of water.
You can follow our Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. You know, we're on there with our shorts, reels, and TikToks.
Take care of yourself and love yourself. You are number one. Love you. If you're not feeling good, if a person is not treating you right, let them go.
Let them go. Quicker. The
Expeditiously.
longer you stay, the more you lose.
You
The
lose
longer
time.
You lose.
You lose your
could
youth
lose a
and
lot.
your beauty.
Your
Oh.
youth, your beauty, money, self-esteem. Because the longer you stay with somebody that doesn't love you, I'm telling you, it will break you down, and then you have to spend more time building you back up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As we drink our wine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is that the outro? Okay, we're done.
I'm drunk as shit.
We're done.
What's up?
What's up?
Woo! I'm not drunk.
I'm not, I was starting to feel tipsy.
I'm not drunk either. You know what? I had 2 things that activated charcoal.
I'm probably not drunk here.
That helps to suck
You're
up.
drunk?
God damn.
Hey, Gunny was sipping. You want some activated charcoal?
I do.
Yeah, that helps to you don't get a hangover or anything.
I would love some activated
Oh my
charcoal.
god.